Hello once again and thanks for visiting. It's your host Nick with another TV box stop review. Today I have with me the Minix U9-H TV box. Minix is a long-standing name in TV box products, and the U9-H is one of their more competitive products which promises to provide entertainment for every user. So after this short introduction, we have an unboxing along with some system and benchmarking apps to see how it scores, as well as my personal thoughts and opinion on this new device, so stay tuned. I will be back in a moment. So what we have is this black box in which the Minix U9-H comes in. The box has Minix's native design with some feature icons which indicates what to expect inside the box. It shows that you have HDMI display, Dolby Digital Audio, H.265 HEVC and 4K HDR display technology. At the back, here it shows that the box has an octa-core Cortex-A53 CPU. The GPU is the Mali T820 Tri core GPU. It comes with 2 GB of DDR3 RAM, and 16 GB of eMMC 5.0 internal storage. It has 802.11 dual-band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.1 technology, and it runs on Android 6.0 operating system. So I will now unpack the contents of the box. So in the box, you have the box itself. You get an infrared remote control. You get 3 different cables in the box. These include one HDMI cable, a micro USB cable, and one OTG cable. It comes with a 5 volts 3 amps power adapter, an external antenna, and a user's guide. Let's take a look at the box. At the back, here you have one HDMI port, you have a standard RJ45 Ethernet LAN port, we have one SPDIF optical audio port, you have one earphone jack, one microphone jack, and the last port here is the power adapter jack. To the side, we have 3 USB 2.0 ports, an SDTF card reader, there's an OTG port, a power button, and a hole for a display lock cable. To the front, you have an infrared sensor, and a power light. On the opposite side, you have the external antenna. The box is made of plastic, with the Minix logo clearly displayed. To the bottom, all you have here is 4 rubber legs and a big Android logo. So it's time to connect this box to my TV, and when I return I will continue with the rest of my review. So I'm all set, and as I start up the box, it shows the Minix startup animation and logo. You're then presented with a choice of 2 launchers to choose from, a Minix native launcher, and a Nova launcher. So this is what the Minix native launcher looks like. And if you don't like the native launcher, this is what the Nova launcher looks like. So for this demonstration I'm using the Nova launcher. For those who have never seen the Nova launcher in action, you are going to really enjoy using this launcher because the interface is simply outstanding. Both launchers come with a navigation bar at the bottom. However, when you start up the box for the first time, you do not have access to this bar. Only after the first update, which I like very much, will you get this feature. Also, after the update, you have to swipe in an upwards motion at the bottom of the screen to reveal it. This navigation bar functions a little different from the other navigation bars I've used. On this bar, you have your volume controls, your home and back buttons, a cascade button for switching between apps, a screen capture button, a download folder button for direct access to the download folder. You have a hide button and a power options button. The home button, represented by this circle, functions as an easy way to switch between the two launchers. The Nova launcher has a Google search bar at the top of the screen, along with a voice search feature, once you have a mini microphone or a webcam connected to the box, or a Bluetooth Air mouse with built-in mic feature. The Nova launcher has a cool way to add and remove shortcuts. It uses the same interface as Android phones, by simply holding down on an app icon and dragging it to the desktop area. The same process applies when you want to remove any shortcut from the launcher. Simply drag the shortcut to the remove option at the top of the launcher. And finally, the feature I really like the most is the live wallpapers and the widgets option. The Minix U9-H got this one right, as I have seen other launchers mess this up. Simply hold down anywhere on the launcher to bring up the wallpapers and widgets options. Select the wallpaper option, and choose the live wallpaper you would like to use, then click Set this wallpaper. Now return to the launcher to view some live background display. You have the option to download your own live wallpapers from the Google Play Store, or simply upload one of your own personal or family picture. To add widgets is the same process as the wallpapers. The widget I like most is the clock widget. It adds the final touches to the launcher. You can choose whichever widgets you like, just make sure and log into your Google account for some of them to work. If we go to the apps section, here we have a list of all the apps that comes installed on the box. In this list, I see that we have App Installer, Chrome Browser, Drm Information, ES File Explorer, Kodi, Miracast, Media Center, Movie Player, MX Player, Google Play Store, Skype, Sound Recorder, and YouTube. So I'll install a couple of my own apps to add to this list, and then I'll run some system and benchmarking apps to see how it scores. So I've installed all my apps, and now let's check to see if the box is rooted. It says here that the box is not rooted, and below here it says that the box is running on Android 6.0 operating system. What this means is that only apps that don't require root access will be able to work properly on this box. If you need your box to be rooted, Minix can grant this feature via an update. In addition to this option, we also have the one-click OTA updates feature, so let's check for any available updates. It says here that the box is currently up to date, and there are no updates at this time. This is expected, because prior to making this video, upon connecting the box to the internet, the box updated itself automatically. This is how the navigation bar at the bottom became available. Let's now take a look at some system and hardware information. Under System Information, here it shows that the manufacturer is Minix, and the model is the Neo U9-H. Below here it shows the total RAM installed as 2 GB, the total RAM after the Android installation, and the available memory. It also shows the total internal storage after the Android installation from the 16 GB. And below that, it shows the remaining internal storage after I installed my benchmarking apps. You can increase your storage capacity with convertible storage, a feature only available on Android 6.0 and later. You can convert up to 64 GB via an SD card. Under the CPU information, it shows that the box is ran by an octa-core Cortex-A53 CPU, running on a 64-bit system. And in similar fashion like in most of the other boxes in its class, The CPU clock range is limited to 1.5 GHz and not 2.0 as it is capable of reaching. The reason again is to control the amount of heat generated by the CPU core. Even though the box comes with a heatsink that covers most of the PCB, it still suffers from the absence of cooling fans and aftermarket heatsinks for advanced heat dissipation. Under display information, here it shows the screen resolution, and it also shows that the GPU is the Mali T820 Tri core GPU, as it is shown under the GPU cores section, and it has a refresh rate of 60 Hz. Under the network heading, I already went ahead and connected the box to my Wi-Fi network. And here it shows that I'm connected to my 5.8 GHz band, and below here it shows the signal strength, the link speed, and the frequency. Under the Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, and it also shows that the box is not rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box has an operating temperature between 45 to 55 degrees Celsius. Again, this changes depending on the level of activity on the box. Under the codecs information, displayed here is a list of audio and video codecs installed on the box. These are necessary for playing HD and 4K videos at 60 frames per second. You have codecs like H264, HEVC, and VP9 decoding. I'm not seeing any H265 decoder in this list. And that's it for system and hardware information. Let's now run some benchmarks and see how it scores. As always, I'll check the memory read and write speeds with the A1 Bench application. It shows that the box has a RAM copy speed of 3322 megabits per second. The internal memory has a read speed of 114 megabits per second, and a write speed of 47, and the SD card has a read speed of 8 megabits per second, and has a write speed of 7, whereas the RAM and the SD card speeds are a bit low. The internal storage read and write speeds were pretty high. This box comes with dual-band Wi-Fi capability, so I'll perform a Wi-Fi speed test on the both bands. And after pinging the same service 6x3 on each band, the Octa results show the box has some good download and upload speeds on my 30 megabytes internet connection. Let's check the DRM information. This stands for Digital Rights Management Information, which grants the box the rights to show movies in HD and 4K quality, from movie streaming services like Netflix and others. From what I am seeing, it shows that this box has support for Microsoft Play Ready DRM. What this means is that Netflix can show in HD and 4K quality on this box, because Netflix uses Microsoft Play Ready support. This box is the first TV box out of China that I've seen to carry the DRM rights to such services. I now turn to the Antutu Benchmark. I always like to explain a little bit about this segment for those new to TV boxes, so I don't take for granted that everyone knows what I'm doing in these various tests. The Antutu Benchmark is an application that performs a comprehensive test on your device's hardware and software environment. It performs a test on the box's 3D graphics, memory performance, CPU multi-threading and multitasking capability, and it also performs a test on user experience performance. Upon completion, the Minix U9-H got an Antutu score of 42,165. The next benchmark I'm running is the Geek Bench for benchmarking application. This app performs a test on the box's CPU. It puts the CPU to task by running a series of timed processes. The box then gets a score based on how long it takes to complete each task. When all tests were complete, the Minix U9-H got a score of 478 single-core and 2,478 multi-core. The last benchmark I'm running is the Ice Storm Extreme GPU benchmark. This app focuses on your box's GPU. If you don't understand what part of the box I am referring to, it's simply the hardware responsible for the display and graphics of the box. The app measures GPU performance while processing lots of pixels and vertices, and it also performs a physics test that measures high GPU rendering performance. When this test was completed, the Minix U9-H got an Ice Storm Extreme score of 6,274. And that's it for the benchmarks. So we just heard a whole lot of technical stuff that most people aren't really interested in. What most people would like to know is, can this box deliver free entertainment? Can it access the Google Play Store? Can it save you money on your online subscription or cable subscription? Can it play large games and apps from the Google Play Store or from an APK file? Is it any better than mainstream devices like the Fire Stick, Roku, or Apple TV? Well, let's dig into its entertainment features. Let's deal with the main question. Can this deliver free entertainment? And the application that comes into question is Kodi Media Center. And the answer is yes. It comes with Kodi pre-installed. However, due to unscrupulous add-on developers that provide ways to stream free HD pirated content, Minix decided to install Kodi in its original state, which is as an open source platform for various media types. The option to install third-party add-ons of your choice is totally up to you. And if you don't know about Kodi or how to install add-ons, you can ask a friend or post on a forum and ask a question. Or the easiest way is to search for tutorials on YouTube on how to install Kodi add-ons manually. So if I go to Settings and then to System Information, here it shows that the version of Kodi is Kodi 16.1 Jarvis. Let's look at the other question. Can this box access the Google Play Store to install any app you like? You have full access to the Google Play Store, and there are lots of apps and games that you can install. However, due to this box not being rooted, certain apps that require root won't work until you get it rooted. A feature that Minix can provide in an OTA update. The next question is, can this box save you money by providing a cheaper quality service than your cable subscription? And the answer here is also yes. There are lots of great legitimate services coming on stream now, providing hundreds of IPTV channels in HD quality without any buffering, at a fraction of what you would pay for regular cable subscription. A perfect example is the new YouTube TV service, offering 40 premium live network channels for $35 per month, and a 1-month free trial. Another new service is Nitro TV. They provide hundreds of IPTV channels all in HD high quality for $20 per month. There are others that you can get for free, but again that is totally up to you. The other question is, how does it compare to other mainstream devices like the Amazon Fire TV, the Roku, the Apple TV, or even the Nvidia Shield? Well, pound for pound, some of these mainstream boxes have superior hardware and programming, allowing them to play back 4K content and 3D gaming better than Android TV boxes. Well, at least for now. As well as all of them come with the necessary digital rights management, which allows them to run paid services like Netflix in HD and 4K quality, something Android boxes have been struggling with. This is not the case with the Minix U9-H. He's the first TV box to come with DRM support to play Netflix in HD quality. However, these are the only areas where Android boxes fall a bit short. But this only applies to paid services, and HD and 4K playback works perfectly in other quarters. The Minix U9-H comes installed with Miracast. This allows you to wirelessly connect any Android device like a smartphone or tablet, and stream media directly to your TV in real time. This leaves two remaining questions: can it play 4K videos, and can it play large games from the Google Play Store, or from a side-loaded APK file? So I'll run some 4K videos stored on a flash drive, and we will get a live demonstration on how the box handles the playback. If you noticed, most of the 1080p and 4K videos played without any issues, with the exception of the second jellyfish video, which had a much higher coding at 250 megabits per second bitrate, and at 60 frames per second. This video is usually a bit of a problem for boxes in the Amlogic S912 class, and I patiently wait as more hardware is released, to see which box is capable of playing this video with ease. For my final question. Can it play games from the Google Play Store? That is, games that are over 1 GB in size, or large games loaded from an APK file. For this demonstration I'm running a game called Godfire, Rise of Prometheus. This is a great game for testing a TV box GPU capabilities. This game requires a CPU speed of 1.7 GHz, a GPU equivalent to the Mali T820. It needs 1 GB of RAM, and 1.2 GB of internal storage. I usually use my gamepad to play this game, but because the box is not rooted, I cannot use my GKM Touch gamepad application, so I'm using a regular mouse for this demonstration. With all settings set to maximum, the game runs well with some minor rendering issues, and the graphics is not of the smoothest quality, so I'm going to lower the graphics and try it again. This time it's playing much better at the lower settings. This is expected, seeing that this box does not reach the minimum requirements of the game's CPU and GPU speed. So in summary, the Minix U9-H is a good TV box for what it is intended for. I would definitely recommend it. It's well built. It comes with the latest software including Kodi Media Center. It has lots of ports for connecting devices. The box is fast, and it plays large games without any issues. However, I don't like that the box is not rooted. I couldn't use one of my apps due to this problem. The CPU clock range is limited to 1.5 GHz for this S912 CPU, and like other boxes in its class, the box had problems playing the second jellyfish video at 250 megabits per second. This model comes with an infrared remote, but you also have the option of a Minix wireless air mouse for a few dollars more. I have come to the end of my presentation. If you're interested in the Minix U9-H, see the link in the description area. Thanks for watching. Remember to like this video if you found it informative, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel for more TV box stop videos.